Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, and in today's video, if you saw the title and you see the shirt that I'm wearing, you probably guessed it. Nextiva is one of the only voice over IP service providers that without having to, ask for it or get any weird workarounds, they actually show the taxes down to the penny that you can expect on your voice over IP service bill, outside of their service. So let me hop to my notes here, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a backstory about why I decided to do this video. So first of all, nothing is more annoying than when you get your bill from your voice over IP service provider, or any provider for that matter, like your internet service provider or your cell phone service provider, only to find out that, you're like short on taxes or something like that. Like what you budgeted with your business or whatever, is not what you see when you get your bill, plus the taxes that you did not expect. I've actually got borderline yelled at, in a recent past from some companies, typically usually nonprofits, that when they go to a board of directors with a bill or with a proposal, that we've worked on, they basically get approval from the budget to basically say, okay, hey, yes, we can go ahead and approve this service based on what you've, put here or put in front of us for this particular price, for this particular solution, whether it be internet, phone service, whatever it may be. I had an incident once where somebody had basically, I forget what it was. We had looked at a voice over IP phone service. It was for a church. And they ended up having like somewhere in the ballpark of $23 extra outside of the budget that they proposed to the board when the board gave them approval to use said part of the budget for the VoIP provider. They emailed me a message that was fairly upset saying, oh my God, I can't believe you didn't let me know that there was going to be all these taxes. And the truth was, while I didn't disagree with the person at all and I felt bad, I didn't know what the taxes were. So there really wasn't much that I could do in that regard. After that particular incident that happened in early 2020, I started going out of my way to ask service providers when working with customers, hey, can you show the client what the taxes and whatnot is going to be? Now, I'm not implying that other providers can't show what the taxes are going to be. The problem is they don't do it normally. Usually at the bottom of their quote, it'll have something that has an asterisk next to it that says something like, applicable state, local, city, and federal charges and fees may not apply. Usually all that they can show is 911 fees and then their internal service charges and whatnot for you to see. Now, most of them can show you what those will be, but you have to ask for it and they have to send you a separate email, or they have to go dig it up and send you a screenshot from another system that they have to gain access to or something like that. Nextiva, I found out in the previous week, I was talking with my Nextiva guy, and I was working with a nonprofit that had multi-location, and they specifically said, hey, Prince, I need to know what the taxes are for when I go to present this to the board. And I said, okay, fine, no problem. I went to my Nextiva guy and I said, hey, I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if you have access to do this in your system, but can you please show my client in an email that you send to me and CC me on it what the taxes are going to be? My Nextiva guy said, it's no big deal. In our system, we have a checkbox that literally says, show all applicable taxes and fees. And they check it and it calculates it all based on the zip code and the address that's given for the quote. He asked me if, he said, Prince, do you want me to just go ahead and enable show all taxes for all of the quotes that we do for you, for your clients? And I was like, heck yeah, let's show them exactly what they can expect. Not only from the service standpoint, but also from the actual taxes and surcharges standpoint. So now every quote that I've done since then, which has been like probably a couple dozen since that incident, like a couple of weeks ago or whatever, it shows all the taxes down to the penny. I think this is great for, let me cut my tablet back on here so I can stay on top of my notes. I think this is great for, for Nextiva, because a lot of VoIP service providers don't show the taxes natively like that. Some of them either can't easily, or they have to give you just a rough estimate, or they have to go out of their way to get you a screenshot or go into some back-end system that's not really theirs to show it. So that's actually a pretty cool perk, as I thought that was worth doing a video about. That Nextiva has the ability in their quoting tool to show you all of the applicable taxes down to the penny. Now, a couple of things I want to put out there before we conclude this video is, number one, It's 2 pointers. And I'm not a tax accountant or a tax expert. So by all means, I'm not saying that you should take this to the bank, but I'm just going to tell you what I've seen kind of in passing. Number one, typically, whenever I have clients that have, locations in different places, like they may be one business, but they might have 4, 5, or 6 locations or something like that or more. They always ask me, Prince, which address should I use to calculate the taxes? And I always joke with them and say, you should probably pick the one that has the lowest tax bracket, state or city or whatever that may be. And that's what most of them do to be able to have the lowest taxes, on their bill, because who likes to pay a lot of taxes? I don't know whether that's the way you should do it from a tax or accounting standpoint. I don't even know if that's legal. Again, like I said, I'm not a tax attorney. So if anybody has any questions or concerns about that, you should consult a tax professional or your accountant or tax attorney. But that's what a lot of clients do is if they have multi-locale, they'll pick the location that they know has the lower tax bracket, like Delaware or Florida or something like that, and they'll do it that way. The other thing that I want to be very clear about is you have to actually give them your address. I work with a lot of folks that, they've got they don't want to give their address or whatever. Make sure that you give the VoIP service provider the same address that you use when you do the quote is the one that you want to give them to be able to get the taxes and whatnot so that you can see what it's going to be correctly and so on and so forth. So anyways, this is a short video. That concludes this one, but Nextiva is the only VoIP service provider that we know of currently that actually has the ability in their software system without having to do any weird workarounds or access a third-party system outside of their quoting tool to be able to show you what your actual taxes are going to be. If you're watching this video and you're interested in Nextiva, I work with them on pretty much a daily, weekly basis. I can get you better pricing than what you can get if you go to them directly. I can also get you access to certain promotions like free phones, included with your contract and whatnot, as well as help set up a demo or put you directly in touch with somebody over at Nextiva if you want to find out more about the system and see if it makes sense for your business or your scenario. So if you found this video helpful, please like this video. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and subscribe to our channel. We upload videos every single week. Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, your go-to guy for the best deals on business, phone, and internet service in the United States. I'll catch you guys again in the next video.